Weekend with Olive Ballows.
A very good evening to you. Glad you could join me on Citizen Weekend on this Saturday. We continue with our coverage of the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education exam results. And tonight I'll have two young ladies in studio. We have Sarah Hatete, I should say, who did her exams at the Kenya High School and scored an A of 84 points. We also have Shalom Wanjiro, Limuru girls, and she scored herself, I beg your pardon, Loreto High School. I'm sure her classmates are like, Loreto High School, right? And she scored 84A as well. So they'll be telling us about what it was like, what their secrets to success are, what their plans for the future are. So stay tuned for that. And Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has fired a warning shot at the president's critics online, saying they will face legal consequences. All that and more on the other side of this news highlights.
Let us take you to court so that judge can tell the country it's okay to take pictures of judges, of church leaders, of political leaders, of children, and put them in coffin and circulate.
Don't misuse social media. Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen says legal action will be taken against online government critics.
Have 5 females who have severe head injuries and deep cut wounds. We have 9 males who are still at the hospital.
Death on the road. 8 people killed in 2 separate accidents in Kericho and Nandi counties.
I received C minor, and there is nobody here received C minor. Because that is a very difficult. Because I am a person who is learned from stomach of my mother. I am a person who is different.
Proud of my D-. Keep Kenya Ward MCA Kimley Leting throws party for the village to celebrate his KCSE results.
Sasa ndio nimekuja kupigia mwalimu mkuu wa hiyo shule, ndiye ameniambia she had P-.
Sisi wote tuko na hiyo wound na ni mbichi kwa sababu sasa imeongezeka maradufu.
Death after KCSE exams. Family shattered as they receive KCSE results of their deceased daughter. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Yula Nzale. We begin with yet another warning to online critics. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen now says the government will clamp down on those abusing social media by drawing and circulating caricatures and AI-generated images of leaders in coffins. Speaking in Bomet County, the Interior Cabinet Secretary says the government will not spare anyone, with his environment counterpart, Aidan Duale, who was in Lamu County, calling for a review of the morals of online users. Stephen Little has the details.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, who was in Chapalungu in Bomet County, sounded a warning to online critics whom he says have gone overboard by manipulating images of top leadership in coffins using generated AI images. The Interior CS says his ministry, together with security agencies, will now crack the whip and arrest all those found culpable.
We have enough crimes to charge you in the penal code. And we will not hesitate to do so, because this country must operate under the law and order. And please, nobody can scare us about that. Mimi, I don't do politics anymore. My job is to maintain law and order. And the team I work with are apolitical.
Murkomen's remarks coming hours after President William Ruto termed the abuse of internet as total moral decay in the country. The Interior Ministry now says all those who will be arrested will be taken to court and charged.
Let us take you to court so that judge can tell the country it's okay to take pictures of judges, of church leaders, of political leaders, of children, and put them in coffin and circulate, and that is a country that we will have of that kind of disorder. But from the side of executive and from the side of law and order, we'll take our side. Let the judiciary determine whether they want a country that is full of disorder.
You must respect the independence of the police the same way you want the independence of the judiciary to be respected. I don't think it is in the interest of the country to continue to humiliate our security officers, yet we know they work in very difficult circumstances.
In Lamu County, Environment Cabinet Secretary Eden Duale.
Tunataka ile vaccination campaign ya kudunga ng'ombe zetu na mbuzi zianzishwe hapa Lamu.
Was marshalling support for the animals vaccination program amongst pastoralists, stepped up the government warnings on misuse of the internet.
But we want also to ask our parents to bring up their children in a very good family moral values. That we use the social media, we use the internet with a lot of responsibility.
CS Duale further said the Kenya Kwanza government will not tolerate extrajudicial killings amid increasing cases of abductions and forced disappearances.
An end to extrajudicial killing was part of the Kenya Kwanza manifesto. And it's one of the things that President William Ruto cherish, and he believes that there should be nobody who dies through extrajudicial killing.
Human rights activists have been holding street protests to decry what they termed as police brutality. Stephen Leto, Citizen TV.
8 people died in 2 separate accidents in Kericho and Nandi counties. In Kericho County, 4 people died while 15 others are nursing serious injuries, and they're doing so at the Kericho County Referral Hospital. The driver of a Dreamline bus that had 44 occupants on board lost control of the bus after failing to negotiate a sharp bend along the Londiani-Muhoroni Road. Elsewhere in Nandi County, 4 people lost their lives at Mutwot along Kapsabet-Eldoret Highway when a saloon car hit a school bus belonging to Cheptabach Secondary School.
Nilikuwa nasafiri kutoka Mombasa, tulikuwa tunaenda Siaya. Na tulipofika pale hapo Londiani, kuna lori imetuapproach, imetufuata tu, yani ilikuwa itugonge. Dereva akaiavoid, dereva wa basi wetu akaiavoid sana, akarudi pande ya conductor, ndio basi ikalala.
We have 5 females who have severe head injuries and deep cut wounds. We have 9 males who are still at the hospital, and our medical team are on the ground working on them, and so far so good. We've lost 1 patient who was severely injured. That is a male aged 30.
A police officer has won a landmark case against the Attorney General, the National Police Service Commission and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, who had attempted to transfer him from his Nairobi station to Turkana County. This is despite him parenting a 7-year-old disabled child with special needs and care. In declaring the transfer unfair, Justice Bairam Ongaya of the Employment and Labour Relations Court ordered the AG, Police Commission and DCI to develop a policy that regulates the transfer and other rights of police officers whose dependents are suffering from extreme forms of physical and cognitive disability. Seth Olale has the details.
It all began in October 2024 when Inspector of Police Isaac Kirimi Kariuki filed a petition seeking a declaration from the Employment and Labour Relations Court that a transfer initiated by the National Police Service Commission and Directorate of Criminal Investigation from Nairobi to Lokitang, Turkana County is unfair. In his supporting affidavit, sworn on 15th October 2024, Inspector Kariuki argued that the National Police Service Commission and the Directorate of Criminal Investigation exposed his 7-year-old son to permanent physical and cognitive disability. In that, the minor regularly attends a clinic program at Gertrude's Children's Hospital for physical, occupational and speech therapy in conjunction with doctors from the Kenyatta National Hospital. And that his 7-year-old son also attends a special school known as Little Step Special School, where fees have been subsidized and is reliant on the petitioner's ability to give him constant psychological and financial support. In their replying affidavits through Peter Kiptanui Lelei, sworn on 10th December 2024, the National Police Service Commission and the Directorate of Criminal Investigation argued that Inspector Kariuki was deployed to Lokitang, Turkana County, in line with the National Police Service Standing Orders, which stipulates that officers other than the Inspector General, Deputy Inspector Generals, and the Director of Criminal Investigation may serve in any part of the country. And that the Directorate of Criminal Investigation had received a complaint dated 2nd September 2024 from a member of the public against the petitioner, alleging that Inspector Kariuki unlawfully obtained money from the complainant and tried to intimidate the complainant to withdraw the civil case filed in court, a reason the DCI decided to deploy him outside Nairobi in light of allegations of threats against a witness. In his determination, Justice Bairam Ongaya of the Employment and Labor Relations Court declared that the transfer of Inspector Kariuki Kirimi from Nairobi to Lokitang violates rights of the petitioner's son with developmental disability as enshrined in the Constitution. And that the National Police Service Commission and the Directorate of Criminal Investigation are compelled to always consider the needs of the petitioner's son with developmental disability when contemplating the transfer of the petitioner. Furthermore, the AG, Police Commission and DCI to develop a policy that regulates the transfer and other rights of police officers whose dependents are suffering from extreme forms of physical and cognitive disability and other family responsibilities as envisaged in this judgment. Seth Olale, Citizen TV.
I did promise you that we'd be continuing our coverage of the KCSE results for the year 2024. And if you thought that the celebrations since the 2024 Kenya Certificate of Secondary School Examination results are for top performers, then you are wrong. Tonight, we focus on the Keep Kenya Ward MCA David Kimeli Leting, who threw a party for the area residents to celebrate having obtained a mean grade of D-. And as Safina Chiengoma reports, his was a celebration of triumph over a course which was no mean feat.
The sleepy Keep Kenya Ward in Kapsaret constituency of Uasin Gishu County woke up to a celebration of its kind on Saturday, as the area residents gathered to celebrate their member of County Assembly, David Kimeli Leting, aka Kokwas, who got a mean grade of D- in the 2024 KCSE exams. And just before you think of underestimating this gentleman,
I'm ahead of 480-something students who have already wasted 15 years to go to school. And me, myself, I go there in 30 days of exam only. I have never gone to any school, even at tuition. I have never.
Kokwas sat for his KCSE exams last year as a private candidate, managing to get a mean grade of D-. According to his provisional results, he had 4 E's, 2 D- and a 1 C- in biology, which was his best performed subject.
In biochemistry, I received C-, and there is nobody here receive C-, because that is a very difficult. Because I am a person who is learned from stomach of my mother, I am a person who is different. Yes.
And just how were the exams, Honorable Member for Kipkenyo Ward?
Sasa nikaona hiyo Kiswahili naye haikuwa mbaya, nikajua nitapata sasa E+. Na wengi wakaniambia hata E+ haipatikani. Mimi nikasema nitachikaza tu. Lakini juzi mimi nikakuwa surprise kupata kwamba mimi niko na D-.
The 64-year-old terms his academic prowess innate as he dropped out of nursery school in 1970. 4 years ago, Leting registered as a private candidate for KCPE and managed to score 150 marks. He would then get inspired to take his education to the next level.
Ili hali hata hii kasi yetu ya UMCA, kuna wakati walikuwa wanasema kama una hata certificate ya form 4 huwezi qualify kwa MCA. Sasa saa hii hakuna chenye ndaambiwa.
Despite being elected with no academic papers, the Kipkenyo Ward MCA had a deep desire to further his education and be able to articulate issues in English at the Uasin Gishu County Assembly and contribute to debates in the House.
I am happy because I have already understand how to speak in English and I know how to explain, and that is my nature. And this is from God.
The area residents are full of congratulatory messages for their leader, Kokwas, as they fondly call him.
Alijua ya kwamba yeye hakusoma. Akaanzisha shule, wengi wamefaidika kwa mashule haya. Alafu yeye mwenyewe akasema hawezi baki nyuma.
Tulikuwa tunamchua tangia mbele kwamba achasoma. Tulipita mchucho sana kwa sababu ya kusaidia yeye. Na leo amejionyesha kwamba anaweza.
Safin Acheng Oma, Citizen TV. Success is indeed subjective. Now, to an inspiring tale that will leave many in disbelief. Picture this: she was forced to miss 2 full years of school after being diagnosed with leukemia. She underwent a life-changing bone marrow transplant in India, fought through the toughest of battles, and returned in 2024 to complete her final year of secondary school. Against all odds, she sat the KCSE exam and emerged victorious, sweeping straight A's across 7 subjects. Ben Kiri narrates Timtim Chebor Melvin's story, whose journey is nothing short of extraordinary.
Chemistry and geography.
Melvin Timtim Chebor from Kapenguria proudly takes her younger sister through her outstanding achievements in the recently released KCSE results. Her journey is nothing short of unbelievable. An awe-inspiring tale of resilience and triumph. Melvin's secondary school education was barely underway when life threw unimaginable challenges her way. First, she was diagnosed with leukemia, forcing her to put her studies on hold and travel to India for treatment. As if that wasn't enough, tragedy struck again when her father passed away in a road accident. The weight of these hardships was overwhelming for the young girl and her family.
2022 was really bad for me, especially after I was discharged, my father passed away. And mind you, lazima tulikuwa tunafaa twende India tena. So it was really hard financially, kila kitu. 2023 hata emotionally it was very draining. Ilikuwa mbaya sana.
Despite these setbacks, 2024 marked her comeback. She returned to school, determined to reclaim her academic path, though the lingering effects of cancer medication made the journey even tougher.
Si ati nilikuwa nimerecover completely. It's not like chemotherapy na kuheal completely. So I had to go for a stem bone marrow transplant. So tukaenda India. So the whole of 2023 I was in India. I was outside the country. So 2023 sikufanya. And mind you, unajua ukijua ufanya utasoma. So I left the studying there. Nikawachana na kusoma.
However, with an unwavering support system from her family, friends and the teachers at Kipsigis Girls High School, Melvin pressed on. She worked tirelessly, and when the KCSE results were finally released, they left many in disbelief. Melvin had achieved straight A's in 7 subjects, earning an impressive mean grade of A with 84 points.
I really read. it's hard. 2 years, unajua unasahau sana. Kama hata ukikuja holiday hiyo kidogo ushasahau, imagine karibu 2 years. Then there were new set books, 6 of them, 3 from English, 3 from Kiswahili. It was hard, lakini nilisoma.
With a dream of becoming a surgeon, Melvin is determined to rise above the financial struggles her family now faces and pursue tertiary education. For her, the sky is just but the beginning.
My goal is to become a doctor, a surgeon, a cardiothoracic surgeon. I want to heal people through the power of God, because it's been by God's hand and grace that niko hapa.
In Ngong, Kajiado County is another extraordinary story of perseverance. Joshua Musembi Kariuki is yet another shining star who overcame immense hurdles to excel in his secondary education. Shortly after joining Mangu High School, his academic focus was disrupted by health issues. Just as he was regaining his footing in Form 2, a torn knee ligament further derailed his studies. He was forced to undergo surgery to restore his mobility.
Sikuwa shule huo mwaka wote, na nikarudi, na walimu walinisaidia sana, walini support na wazazi pia, nikaweza kuendelea na masomo yangu, na nashukuru Mungu kwa umbali amenileta.
Yet Joshua refused to let adversity define his future. He pushed forward, making up for lost time and putting his best foot forward. His relentless effort paid off, emerging victorious with an impressive A- in the KCSE exams.
Si rahisi kupitia mambo kama hayo. Si rahisi kukosa shule kwa miezi hayo kadhaa. Ni rahisi sana kukufa moyo ukiwa kwa situation kama hiyo. Lakini mimi nikirudi shuleni, wazazi walikuwa wananiambia niende niombe vitabu ya wenye wamekuwa shuleni, nachukua notes, naenda na tuna print, na hizo ndio nakuja nasoma.
Both Melvin and Joshua's journeys are nothing short of extraordinary, powerful testaments of resilience and perseverance. Ben Kirui, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Some incredible stories there, Ben. To a story now of ruined dreams. As families of top performers in the KCSE 2024 exams celebrate their loved ones who recorded stellar performances in their national exams, a family in Kisii County who lost their kin 2 days after finishing her KCSE exams has little to celebrate. The family of Kemunto Oguto, who got a B-, is shattered as their daughter's aspiration of becoming a doctor remains crushed, and that followed her death. Miriam Nyambura reports.
A fresh wave of grief at Kiamagera village in Kisii County. The family of Michelle Kemunto Oguto is deep in mourning. Michelle, a KCSE candidate, died days after sitting her national exams. It's been 2 months since her passing, and the family was coming to terms with the death of their departed daughter, who they just found out scored a B-, a bittersweet moment for them.
She was epileptic. Tulikuwa tuna manage ya ugonjwa, bado akaendelea kusoma up to date 15 akamaliza exam.
Michelle, who was only 19, was a candidate at the Moremani Mixed Secondary School.
Sisi wote tuko na hiyo wound na ni mbichi, kwa sababu sasa imeongezeka maradufu kwa minajili ya matokeo ya mtihani.
Sikuwa na hiyo nguvu ya kwenda kutuma mtihani. Nilikaa siku 2. Sasa ndio nimekuja kupigia mwalimu mkuu wa hiyo shule, ndio ameniambia she had a P-.
The wounds of losing their firstborn daughter, who they described as a go-getter, still fresh. And while other families get to hug their loved ones and make merry after seeing their performance, Kemunto's family can only connect with their departed daughter by visiting her grave.
Inaumiza. Certificate tuko nayo, hatukuna kitu tunafanyia matarajio yetu, so it's just finished like that.
Their hopes that one day they too will have a doctor in their family crushed for now.
Nilikuwa na matumaini mengi sana kwa mtoto wangu. Nilikuwa natamani akuwe daktari kwa sababu ya shida alikuwa nayo, na she was over the of her, maisha yake yote alikuwa anasema mimi nataka kuwa daktari.
Miriam Nyambura, Citizen TV.
Our hearts go out to the family. Imagine going back to school and sitting for the same national exam in the same year with your child. That's the story of Selina Lesuruapus, a mother of 3 from Samburu County, who sat for the 2024 KCSE exam alongside her daughter, Faith Loriakwe. Mother and daughter both managed to score a B- and a C+ respectively, and are optimistic about the future that lies ahead. As you'll hear now from Boniface Barasa, the two aspire to join the teaching profession.
The mother-daughter duo of Selina Lesuruapus and Faith Loriakwe have put the little-known village of Baraka, located in the outskirts of Maralal Town, Samburu County, on the map. The two were amongst the 961,000 KCSE candidates who received their results this week. Both candidates attained university entry grades. The mother of 3, Selina Lesuruapus, leading with a grade of B-, while her daughter Faith followed with a close C+ grade.
Niko na watoto watatu na nilipata grade ya B-. Nilisomea shule ya adult. Hakika nimefurahia hii result. Katika hii ni yetu ya pastoral community pastoral si rahisi mzazi pamoja na watoto wake wanaenda kusoma.
Nilipata grade ya C+. Kwa mimi nasikia vizuri sana juu tumepita na madhe, nasikia vizuri. Nitakapoenda university nataka kuwa mwalimu, pia nikuje nijumuike na jamii na pia kuwasaidia katika kuwafunza.
Unrelated Selina was a victim of early marriage that is common within the pastoralist communities and missed out on the chance for an education early in her life. That didn't deter her, and she picked up where she left in her education journey in her adult life. With the blessing of her husband, she's quenching her thirst for education. And as they await to join the university to actualize their dream careers of becoming teachers, they believe they'll bring the much-needed change in transforming their community.
Mimi ningependa kuwa mwalimu so that I will give back to the community. Maana huko kwetu watu wengi hawajasoma.
I was actually expecting this result for her because she has been there. She has been there. Actually, what the point is that the interest, she came knowing what exactly she wants.
The challenges of parenting and running a household did not hinder Selina's determination to sit her exam and pass well.
Yeye alikuwa ako shule ya bweni, akikuja ananisaidia. Tunapitia pamoja, tuna revise kati ya likizo, nionyesha zile vitu ambayo wanasoma kwa shule yao, na hivyo ndo tumekuwa tukisaidiana.
Selina's success is undoubtedly a game changer, especially in a community that still practices retrogressive cultural practices that deny the girl child an equal chance at quality education. As this family is overwhelmed with the sterling performance they posted in 2024 KCSE, the uphill task that worries them is whether they will overcome the financial burden of joining the university to pursue their career dream of becoming teachers. Boniface Barasa, Citizen TV, Samburu County.
At this point in time, we put a pin on our KCSE results stories, but we'll be back with 2 more stories that, as promised, of Sarah Hatete, as well as Shalom Muhoro, Kenya High and Loreto High School, respectively. But before then, a family in Nairobi's Dandora estate is desperately searching for their missing kin who disappeared 3 years ago. The family says Edwin Mutaruki Kamanda, a father of 3, disappeared in December of 2021, alongside 4 others whose bodies were later discovered in Rivayala in 2022. However, Edwin's whereabouts remain a mystery. Franklin Wala has that story.
It has been an agonizing 3 years for this family, recounting the pain of searching for their loved one Edwin Mutaruki Kamanda since 4th of December 2021.
If at least tungepata body tumbari, ningekuwa nasemanga yenyewe tulimpatanga tukambari, lakini sasa sijaipata, hajairudi, utasemaje?
Edwin's wife Joyce Njoki says since her husband went missing, she has been left as the sole breadwinner.
Na si mtu ati ameshaishikwa, hajaishikwa. Sijaimwona on the wrong for the last 15 years yenye tulikuwa kwa ndoa na yeye. Sijaimwona kama ako on the wrong side.
Edwin operated as a taxi driver, and on the fateful day, he left their home at 5 a.m. while promising to come back, but 3 years down the line, nobody has seen him. Edwin told his family he had gotten a car hire trip to drop some clients in Nakuru. He left Nairobi driving in the company of 4 people. Somewhere along the way, something happened. His wife tried calling him, but he was unreachable. A search was mounted and a vehicle he was driving was found abandoned near a supermarket in Gilgil town.
Nilimtafuta sana. Nilienda hadi Nakuru hospital, nilienda hizo mogza huko Gilgil, Nakuru, all those places nilienda. But sikumpata.
In the midst of all this, unidentified bodies were being discovered in River Yala, Siaya County. The bizarre discovery would shock the country. Joyce and her family traveled to Yala for a search of their kin. The family managed to identify the bodies of men who were in the company of Edwin. The bodies were wrapped in sacks.
Na up to date, sijai jua ako alive ama he's dead. Na kama if he was dead na awa hizi bodies zao wenye alikuwa amebeba zilipatikana Yala, hata nilikuwa na expect maybe yake itapatikana wapi? Itapatikana Yala. But
the search exercise ended in River Yala with at least 34 Kenyans found murdered and their bodies dumped in the river, but Edwin was not among them, leaving the family in darkness, not knowing if he is dead or alive.
Hata sidhani kama nikupatikana angekuwa amepatikana, hangekuwa amedecompose cause hao wenye walikuwa kwa hiyo gari wenye alikuwa amebeba hawakuwa decomposed. Hao walikuwa body zao zilikuwa tu sawa, but zilikuwa na hizo nini za torture. Kiangalia watu walikuwa so tortured. Cause hizo hata nikifunga macho hivi imagine hizo ninizo nikamia tu.
Investigators documented the scene and the outcome has never been made public. Edwin's family says police have not been helpful in pursuit of the missing person case filed at Dandora police station.
In 3 years, 1 month, 8 days. Yeah. Kwa polisi nilikuwa nikifuatilia kila saa wananiambia wewe enda urudi, kitu yote kipatikana tutakwambia, kitu yote kipatikana tutakwambia. Mara mwisho tu aliniambia sasa penye imefika msahau.
3 years down the line, Commander's family knows no peace.
Sidhani kama hii tu ni mtu anybody tu from nowhere atakuja ashike watu kama hao awafanyie torture alafu watupe Yala. So mimi nilikuwa nasema hata at least kama sikumpata si wangenipatia closure. Hiyo closure yenye nakwambia huyu hayuko hapa, endeni mjaribu mahali fulani, but yani tu niko stuck.
Each day as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, Joyce Njoki remains hopeful that one day she will get to know the whereabouts of her husband and the father of her 3 children. Franklin Wala, Citizen TV.
And with that report by Franklin Wala, we'll take a break on Citizen Weekend. But coming up on the other side, end of the road. Drama in Rongai as police arrest a suspected M-Pesa fraudster.
Sour petroleum jelly repairs dry skin and moisturizes like no other. Non-sticky like no other. Great quality product from Pwani Oil.
These days, you have to shop smart as everything is so expensive. I shop smart. I always get a good bargain when I buy my mbogas from Mama Chege. I shop smart. I buy the 1 kg of Msafi, which costs the same as 500 grams of a popular detergent. I shop smart. Msafi removes tough stains and keeps clothes bright. And its pleasant fragrance keeps clothes smelling fresh. Chagua smart, value maradufu, na Msafi.
Oya, ebu cheki Mashakura John. Well, that's what his friends call him. Usually, they will do anything to avoid his cooking, manze. Surprise, surprise! No more Mashakura John, thanks to new Royco herbs and spices. Spicika na Royco.
Pepsodent Charcoal has 2 of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced? Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
Pepsodent Charcoal. Pepsodent.
I trust Sunlight 2-in-1 washing powder to give my clothes a sensational clean and an uplifting fragrance.
Okay, bye-bye.
Sunlight. More than you expect.
And we need 2 Royco cubes because iron gives you strength to skooma yourself to be the best you can be.
Jitokeze na Kiwi. Buy a Kiwi limited edition tin and stand a chance to win your share of 3 million in cash, school fees, shopping vouchers and other amazing prizes. Simply dial *459 *5#, enter the code under the lead and stand a chance to win. Step up and shine.
Great yummy taste, gotta hack it. Na spread bread, pate nguvu, gotta pack it. Na paka nyweki design ya mokoro. Blue Panda, Juni natural cocoa. 5 vitamins, una grow plus ni tam nani. One by one, tuna flow with the energy. Dance to the beat, feel the adrenaline. Vibes ni polite. Step into the motion. Tuna hack snack na ki blue bunch choco for your growth.
Panga your back-to-school plan na Co-op Bank. Get on top of your kids' school fees by simply paying directly to any till or pay bill via M-Co-op Cash App or *667# or using your Co-op ATM card. You can also apply for an instant mobile loan. Top up your child's pocket money from anywhere with your Co-op prepaid card. Back-to-school season ni Co-op season. Cooperative Bank is regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya.
Lakini vile hii ekonomi imetufinya, ilinibidi kubadilisha sabuni nikatumia ingine rahisi. Bala, ilibidi nioshe kila kitu mara 2. Sikuwa na otherwise, nikarudia Ariel.
Ariel, usafi bora kwa mwosho mmoja tu.
Marubani wanashinda millions in seconds on aviatorshabiki.com. Meet my big ballers wa Aviator.
Shambiki Aviator, nilianza kucheza na pesa kidogo nikimprove.
With the time, the more unacheza, the more unapata experience.
It's a game that you can play anytime.
Aviator ni iko sawa kabisa. Kochonjo.
Join club ya millionaires nani. Win millions in seconds. Cheza Aviator on shabiki.com. Not for persons under the age of 18.
Thank you for staying with us on Citizen Weekend. Police have arrested a suspect linked to a syndicate targeting M-Pesa operators in various parts of the country. Police intercepted the suspect, identified as Duke Mainge, along Magadi Road in Ongata Rongai and bundled him into a waiting car. As you will hear now from our crime reporter, Ode Francis, the suspect was in the process of defrauding an M-Pesa agent before police arrested him.
This video has sparked mixed reactions among Kenyans after this young man was seen being forced into this car. The drama was captured on camera along Magadi Road in Ongata Rongai. Duke attempted to jump from the car, but he was overpowered. Following the circulation of the video showing Duke being bundled into this car, we visited the scene. We visited the scene of the drama behind Ruby's petrol station to establish whether this was a case of another abduction. Following the circulation of the video showing Duke being bundled into this car, we visited the scene of the drama behind Ruby's petrol station to establish whether this was a case of another abduction. At noon, Duke is seen speaking on phone as he enters into this M-Pesa shop.
Hello. Agent. Very.
From the CCTV footage, the suspect is hard convincing the M-Pesa agent to talk to a purported Safaricom customer care staff. Sensing danger, the M-Pesa agent alerted those nearby who swung into action and seized Duke Mangaini Ochego and alerted police officers who arrived immediately and bundled him into this vehicle.
Someone came in, a guy, akaniambia nataka niongee na customer care wa Safaricom. I picked the phone. It was a random Safaricom number. The first one, the one I was talking to, the customer care allegedly, was a Safaricom number. It started 0110. I think that's a Safaricom number. But after, there's a number that kept calling him. It was a 0780. I think that's Airtel.
Ile nilipata hapo ndani nikamwambia jamaa wewe utoki. Wewe kuna vile kuko hapa, wewe kaa hapo ndani.
We visited Ongatarongai police station where we had a chance to speak to the suspect.
Kwa hiyo M-Pesa ulikuwa unaenda kufanya nini?
Huyo mtu aliniuliza hapo kwenye huko kuna M-Pesa yoyote karibu? Nikamwambia ndio. Akaniambia ingia hapo ndani upewe mtu M-Pesa simu niongee na yeye. Sasa mimi nilishtukiwa, nimeshikwa, nimerudi ndani ya gari. Nikashangaa tena najikuta wapi hapa. Phone yangu akaenda huko kwa M-Pesa kapatiwa. Kaeka kwa mfuko, akakuja akaingia kwa gari, wakaanza kuendesha. Wakatoka hivi kwa rami, wakaniweka pingu. Kashangaa nini inaendelea. Nimepa mpaka pingu na sijafanya chochote. Sasa mimi nikaanza nikauliza, "Nyinyi ni nani?" Hawakunijibu. Sasa mimi kidogo wakafunga vioo. Mmoja kanipiga kofi. Nikaona huko imekaa mbaya, nikaanza kupiga nduru. Kufungua mlango, wakanishika. Nilikuwa napiga nduru ili angalau nipate usaidizi, sikuwa najua kama ni polisi.
Fraudsters targeting M-Pesa agents has increased across the country, and Kenyans are warned to be vigilant when using their phones to deposit or withdraw money.
But hiyo maneno na abduction, tafadhali wananchi, kama sisi wananchi, tuache kuongelelea kitu ambaye hatujajua ni nini. So mimi nilikuwa hapo na nikaona na naweza kuwa witness. Huyo jamaa alikuwa ni mwizi, alikuja kuiba.
Now, part of the investigations from the investigators within this area, what they'll be looking at is to try and find forensically the numbers that were used to try and defraud the M-Pesa agent. Ode Francis, Citizen TV, Ongatarongai, Kajiado County.
The family of Naomi Nyiro is mourning the loss of their mother, who was among 3 people killed after a light aircraft crashed along the Malindi-Mombasa highway in Kilifi County. Naomi, who was the head teacher at Mashamba Primary School, met her untimely death while heading home from school. The family is calling for speedy investigations and compensation from the owners of the aircraft. Francis Mtalaki reports.
A grey cloud hangs over Kisumu Ndogo village in Malindi constituency. Family and friends have gathered following the untimely death of 64-year-old Naomi Nyiro, the head teacher of Mashamba Primary School. Naomi, who was heading home from school, was among 3 people crushed to death after a light aircraft crash landed along the Malindi-Mombasa highway and burst into flames.
Kapiga simu, nikamtafuta. Aliyeshika simu akaniambia bibi yangu hayuko tena. Kashika njia tukaenda kwa choo cha kumwangalia, tukamkuta lakini akawa amewekwa kwa mfuko na askari, kampeleka mochari.
Tukapata habari kuwa amehusishwa kwa accident ambayo ilihappen hapo Ngala kwa Chocha. Sasa alipoteza maisha yake hapo, nasikia ndege ilimkata kwa shingo.
Her husband says her death is a big blow to the family since she was the breadwinner and appeal to the family. At Mashamba Primary School, the silence is too loud. The security man who last spoke to her recounts moments before her death.
Akaniambia mimi nimepata emergency safari kidogo, ninatoka. Nenda umuone deputy kama anaweza kusaidia. Ama kama hataweza basi nikutane na wewe Jumatatu ama Jumanne. Sasa ndio nikamfungulia mlango na akatoka. Hiyo ndio nilikuwa nayo jana, hali ya kama ni kama ambaye nilikuwa tunaagana.
The family is now calling for speedy investigations and compensation from the owners of the aircraft.
Kufanya uchunguzi unaostahili, tupate kujua chanzo cha ile accident, na vivyo hivyo baada ya kupoteza mtu wetu hakuna fidia ambayo ni sawasawa na binadamu, lakini tungeomba fidia ya sawasawa, fidia ya haki. Ile kampuni husika, ile insurance company, tushirikiane pamoja kusudi tuweze kusaidiana kila mahali ambapo tunahitaji msaada.
The 64-year-old head teacher served for 43 years, died alongside her long-time boda and a pillion passenger. Francis Mtilaki, Citizen TV, Malindi, Kilifi County.
Police in Chesikaki, Mount Elgin, have begun investigations to unearth circumstances under which a father is alleged to have beaten his daughter to death. It is alleged that Morris Ruto, age 41, descended on his 23-year-old daughter, Esther Nasimiu, on Thursday night, following a difference in opinion over a family matter, only for her body to be discovered lying lifeless in her room on Friday at noon. According to the police, the body of Nasimiu bore multiple injuries inflicted by a blunt object. Area Chief Morris Wetala, while confirming the incident, has called on parents to embrace alternative disciplinary methods as opposed to corporal punishment. The 41-year-old is detained at Chesikaki police station awaiting arraignment as his daughter's body lies at the Sante Hospital mortuary awaiting a post-mortem.
Msichana huyo ni kama alikuwa amepotea kwa boma kidogo, na tofauti hiyo ikafanya baba yake kwa hasira akataka kumupatia adabu ambayo imeleta kifo cha huyo msichana. So kwa hivyo mimi nikiwa chifu wa eneo hili nataka kukashifu kitendo hicho kwa njia kubwa sana, kwa kuwa hiyo sio suluhu kwa mambo ambayo yanaweza kuwa katika jamii.
President William Ruto has called on African countries to implement common strategies to build resilient agricultural food systems. The president urged African governments to increase their investments in regional agricultural infrastructure, foster research and innovation, and accelerate the dissemination of technological solutions. He also called on international partners to align their support with Africa's transformation agenda, ensuring that resources reach the areas of greatest need and impact. Speaking during the African Union Extraordinary Summit on the post-Malabo Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program held in Kampala, Uganda, Ruto explained that these measures were the surest path to uplifting livelihoods, safeguarding the environment, and fulfilling a fundamental obligation to feed Africa. All right, on the other side of this break, as you can see, I will be joined by Shalom Wanjiru Mohoro, Loreto High School. She was the school captain, she tells me. We also have Sarah here, Sarah Hatete, and she tells me she was a swimmer. You did what, music and drama as well as part of your extracurricular activities? Okay, so we'll hear more from them. They performed spectacularly in the KCSE 2024. Yesterday we had a gentleman, today we have the ladies represented, so do stay tuned. We engage two candidates who scored grade A in the 2024 KCSE exams.